Hey y'all, welcome to Art of the Budget. My name's Nicole. My pronouns are she and her, and I live in the Pacific Northwest on the traditional unceded territory of the Coast Salish Nations. And it's the freaking weekend, so it's time to check in on our budget together. Um, Good morning. Hello. I realized that there are almost 300 subscribers, which is kind of mind-boggling. I try not to look at that number that much, but I couldn't help but notice. So if you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and if you are returning, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. I hope that you enjoy the chaos that is my budget at times. But the working chaos, the organized chaos, the getting there chaos. So first budget check-in of 2020, and I will bring that energy, I promise. Before we get started, I just want to say most of the time my weekday videos are, posted ahead of time, so I didn't get to weigh in on the wildness that took place this week in our nation. Also, there was some extra spicy wildness at our state capitol here in Washington, and I get to have a front seat to that. But anyway, I just hope that everyone is doing okay. I know that this actually can be a traumatic event. Domestic terrorism is no joke. It's terrifying, and it is really scary to think that we right now live in a place where the highest seat of leadership in our land has been so irresponsible and put us in such a terrible position. But also, I really hope that our new president and vice president and all of our state leadership, all of our city leadership, our county leadership, I really hope that all of those folks that we have entrusted to represent us really take their jobs super seriously moving forward, because this obviously is not an isolated incident. This is years in the making. White supremacy is what our nation is built on, unfortunately, and it would be really amazing. As the child of immigrants, I would love to see the United States really stand for something different moving forward. Okay, my rant is over, but let me know down below how you're doing. And I think this is a traumatic event for a lot of people, and understandably so. Um, let's get into the budget. Okay, so I was thinking oh, I did really good this week. I didn't have that many transactions, but then I double checked and actually had quite a few. So on a couple of Sundays a week now, I'm going with someone else to do some outreach just to provide some groceries and warm clothes and stuff for folks who live out in the weather with no housing. And on the way there, there's a coffee shop that provides hot coffee for us to share, which is pretty amazing. And so I do try to buy a drink from them. And the day when I went, my friend texted and asked if I would get a drink for them as well. So I spent $6.19, and I'm always giving a $3. Half of this is the tip, because they're providing us free coffee every week, which is amazing. So I spent $6.19 on one of those drinks, and this is going to go into restaurants, and I spent $8.49 on the other drink. I also went to the Dollar Tree. I was actually going to see if they had a few things that I needed for that outreach, and they did not, but I got a couple of things for cleaning. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm not that much of a cleaner. But with the new year ringing in, I'm hoping to do a little extra deep cleaning. So I picked up a few things at the Dollar Tree. I've been following a few people who do cleaning as their job on TikTok, and I'm learning some stuff. So anyway, $6.56 at the Dollar Tree. This is going to go under household. I spent $16.40 at f.i.r.e to refill my CO2 cartridge for my SodaStream. And I'm just going to scroll down. I also spent $73.87 on groceries. I will tell you, I got a lot of groceries for that, and I actually got a couple of like shampoo and soap as well. I'm going to do a video about what I got and what I made, and that'll be up next week. or this week, next week, on a Tuesday or Thursday. And I got I went a little crazy and I got so much like fresh food, so a little too much fresh food. But anyway, spoiler alert, it was a really good week of food. But I'll have that video up next week. Something else that I did was I bought a case of agua bucha from my friend's business. I try not to buy too much stuff from Amazon, but this friend's small business is now on Amazon, and so I bought a case of their new product, which is sparkling water with a little bit of kombucha. It's a kombucha business. Anyway, I bought a case from Amazon for my sister to try, and that was $29. And I am gonna put that in groceries just because that makes sense. They shared a case with me, and it was really tasty, and I wanted my sister to try it, so I bought her a case. Okay, I know it's kind of expensive, but it was a good treat, I think. So maybe I should put that in gifts. I'm gonna think on that. Okay, anyway, while I was there, I'm gonna scroll up to sharing. While I was at f.i.r.e, I also bought about $50, $50.27 of groceries to share. That's things like protein, like peanut butter. I also got like hot drinks and sugar and stuff to go with the coffee that we provide. And I got a lot of it, so enough for like at least 2 weeks of outreach. And that was $50.27. So that's going to go into sharing my income. While we're here, my Patreon came out. It was $25.40. And on Patreon, I don't really know if I talk about this much. I just support a few different creators with a small amount, like $5 a month. And these are artists, personal finance people, mental health folks. I guess I support one mental health person, one personal finance person, and 2 artists. I think that's who I support. Anyway, so I do $5 a month. So it's not that much really from my budget, but over the year it's a little bit more. So I really like that. And I also support the Trans Lifeline every month for $5. So this is a line, like a crisis line for folks who are trans, and that was $5. That's going and sharing my income. This is really amazing because if you don't know, folks who are LGBTQ and on, they experience a lot higher incidence of suicidal ideation and suicide. And this is just really an important resource. So as soon as I heard about it, I've been supporting them since I knew about them. And again, it's $5 a month, so I hope that hopefully builds up over time. Hopefully a lot of other people are doing small increments like that, but I just continue doing it. Yeah. So anyway, just wanted to talk a little bit about my sharing. Let's see. I got gas. Let's scroll on down. Gas was $33.61. I really had not gotten gas in so long, and I kept driving with like it on empty. I don't drive that much, so I've just found myself doing that more often. I used to, get gas like once a week, and now because I drive so little, it's like can go on and on and on. Anyway, while I'm down here near the fun category, I'm gonna say I bought a notebook. I'm just wild for notebooks. One day maybe I'll show y'all a picture of I've been saving notebooks that I've filled up, journals, sketchbooks, what have you, since I was 18 years old. And I do tend to have a little stock of notebooks, especially because I have a friend and also my sister-in-law who in the last few years have gone to Japan, which is where my favorite notebook exists, and they brought me back like a pile of them, but I worked through them. So anyway, I just found it really cute. I went to the art supply store here, Oliphant, and I was there to see if there was something that I needed to pick up for work. But I found this cute notebook and I got that. And that was $8.75, which is pretty affordable. That's going to go in the fun category. And while we're there, I also went to Michael's where I was able to find the thing that I needed for work. But I spent $6.96 on myself essentially, and so that's going to go in fun too, $6.96. I accidentally swiped my card instead of my work card, so I need to submit for a reimbursement. So I'm gonna just leave this 3167 here. It says Michael's work, and I'm just gonna leave that as a reminder for myself to follow up and turn that receipt in, and then I'll just take it away when I get reimbursed. And then last but not least, this is the chaotic energy I promised you. So I had finished 2020 with $5 in my cat fund, and that is not ideal. But the cool thing is that I have not gone incredibly over anywhere yet, and I have a chance early in the month to kind of adjust to things maybe. And also, this is just like letting you know, I made a whole 2021 budget projection, and now I think I do need to adjust because I have some pretty high cat fees already. And yeah, it just didn't work out the way that I planned. It's so funny how that happens. You know, you think you really did something and then you realize you didn't, but like, it's okay. I'm just gonna adjust. So this is gonna go into the cat category for right now, and I'm gonna figure it out. So I had to pick up that medicine. I had mentioned that I picked up like 10 pills and it was like $27. So I picked up 100 pills and it was $142.09. This is a medicine that my cat takes for his heart. It is really expensive. Um, I don't know if it's entirely necessary, but until they tell me to stop giving it to him, I will be giving it to him. So that was $142.09. That's going to go into kitties right now. And then I had to take him in. So my cat was diagnosed at the beginning of quarantine with hyperthyroidism. He had an enlarged heart because of it, and we've gone to cardiology. We had his 6-month checkup there a couple months ago, and then we just had his 6-month checkup with the vet for the hyperthyroidism. And good news, mostly things were looking great, where he's just due back in 6 months for a check-in, which is awesome because at the time when we got the diagnosis, we really didn't know if he was gonna like live. Like he could have had a stroke and died. But that was 3/14/36. The cool thing though was that they actually were able to do his annual stuff, so give him his vaccines and whatnot, and so I don't need to like bring him for an annual anytime soon, although Miss Violet is due soon. So 3/14/36, this is going to go into the cat fund category. That's just how I split it. Medicine, food, litter go up top, and then doctor's appointments, that kind of thing, go into the cat fund. And I'm going to try to rearrange things as best I can, and I might just revisit my yearly budget to front load this cat fund because that's just going to bring me a lot of what's the word, of comfort. I know that I have that money. It's fine, but I would love to not be like pulling out of the emergency fund, you know, if I don't have to. But if I do have to, that's also fine too. No big deal. Of course, I don't know if I ever really talk about this, but I funnel most of my expenses through a credit card so I can get travel points. Obviously, has not been something I needed recently, but I'm really hoping for some good travel post-vaccine. So this is all, funneled through a credit card, which is paid off every month. But I do have a little bit of wiggle room between being an actual cash month ahead and funneling things through a credit card. So that is one thing that I just think it's helpful to mention, that I've got a few cushions in place besides just my emergency fund. So that's the budget for the week. Starting 2021 with like a little bit of chaotic energy. That is the way we do here. So I will see you in the next video.